If you click this video, you're probably a Nigerian university student or not. I'm taking it upon myself to remind us that our universities owe us way more than just a degree. Did you forget? Or you just didn't know? Whichever it is, keep watching, sit tight, let's start. So, I'm going to pretend to work out while we're having this conversation. One, two. So why are thousands of people gathered in one space for years? Why create student association? Why, do all these things if we're just supposed to come in, take a degree and go? I don't think that's accidental. I think university has always been selling something more than, the degree on paper, but we've not been paying enough attention. But that changes today because after we unwrap this, I think you'd start to see the environment that you're in differently because you really should. So to make it easier, let's say there are four types of capital. Maybe there's more, but for the sake of this video, there are four types of capital. And a degree is only one form of capital. So, many students spend their time collecting only one form of capital when there's three others, there's three other forms of capital that you're just leaving aside. And then there are other students who are actually graduating with the four types of capital. I think those are the kind of people who eventually stand out in society. It's definitely not accidental. Don't allow the other types of capital to just be accumulating in the background while you're focusing on just one. There's social capital, the people who know you. There's reputational capital. What do people think of you when your name is mentioned in a room that you're not in? And then there's creative capital. That's like proof that you can take an idea and turn it into something creative. And the interesting part is that employers often encounter these other three types of capital before even asking for the one on paper, which is your degree. When I realized this, that completely changed the way I started looking at university. Recently, my school had an event called Career Fair. It's an annual event, and we were privileged to have conversations with HR from the best brands across Africa. She said, when they check your employability, they never pay attention to, what's her CGPA? Is it first class or second class? It's never that, right? So why do we spend so much time thinking that I'm not saying I'm not saying don't focus on your academics, please do. But you need to decenter it, not entirely. Just stop thinking is the most important thing because it is not. So when I got into medical school in now University of Nigeria, Abuja, I promised myself one thing that I wasn't just gonna be another pawn on the chessboard. I promised myself that I was actually gonna get involved. You can ask anyone in school. If there's ever an opportunity, Vanessa is there. If it's career fair, I'm there. When anyone in marketing department, oh Vanessa, could you cover this or would you be free to? Yes, it's always yes, 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 yes. Because I promise you, the best days of my life in university so far was gotten out of the classroom. It's never in the classroom. Like the best days of my life, days where I met people that I never thought I would meet, days where I'm in rooms, just building, getting access, to things that I never thought I would. Never happens in the classroom. So if you are still thinking that you keep perfect CGPA and then you get any job you want, build whatever, it doesn't work that way. And that's the difference. Attendance is passive, but participation, that's what changes the environment, even slightly. So whenever I could contribute, I tried to. I volunteer, I showed up to events, and it's very fun. It's very fun. And opportunities rarely arrive out of nowhere. You have to actually force yourself into those doors. where these opportunities are. Because trust me, there's more opportunity in your university than you even realize. Every invitation, every recommendation begins with one simple thing: someone has to know you exist. It's not vanity. That's just the reality. People have to know you. You have to put yourself out there. Stop attending just your lectures and thinking you're being a great student. Stop. Put yourself out there, volunteer, create content, join clubs. That's how you're actually going to build the other capital. And one experience that made it impossible for me to ignore this, theory is I was working in school, right? And we have this place that we call food court. It's basically where all the restaurants in school are. So I was working in food court, and guess what I ran into? I ran into the chief operating officer of my university. Guys, me, I cannot see, a VIP member of my school or any space and move away. I would always go to greet you. Oh, good afternoon, sir. Guess what? He called me by name. Oh, Vanessa, right? What did he say? I remember you. You hosted International Women's Day. I was like, oh my days. Because my school reached out to me through, I think it was their marketing department or HR, and they have this annual International Women's Day, and they needed an event host, one student and one staff. They asked me, oh, Vanessa, do you think you can? Yes, immediately, yes. I don't even want to hear what you have to say. As long as it's anything that has to do with school and putting myself out there, yes, I can. And he said, how are you doing? Yes, I remember you from the event. And in that moment, I was just like, wow. So that's how it is. My name, oh. So do you understand? Recommendation, that's how it comes. Someone has to know you. That's just it. Before we continue, let me do like 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Guys, I cannot even do 5 push-ups. Anyways, so if you don't remember anything about this conversation that we're having, just remember that people don't remember who they meet. People remember who leaves an impression on them. And that's what networking really is. It's not about collecting business cards or connecting on LinkedIn. It's about the impression you leave on people. That's what real networking is. Leaving an impression means that your name stays in the room even after you've left the room. Yes, connections fade, but good impressions compound. And that's why you can have, access that you think is just enough. And the next time you shop again and you see, wow, there's more access in this same opportunity. I don't know if you get me, like, you guys get me. So the second most important thing is your life doesn't begin after university. You don't find your purpose after university. Your university is your home, it's your life. Your life has already begun, because that's one big fat lie people tell themselves. Oh, I'll start creating after university. Oh, let me graduate first and I'll have time to. Oh, let me. Start now. It's the best time to start, because after university, we're supposed to start seeing the result of your 4, 5, 6 years. We're supposed to see the result. What products have you built? What rooms know your name? So I just told myself, Vanessa, university is one of the few places where you're constantly interacting with people with different talents, skills, knowledge. So I asked myself, why wait until after university to start building? You may ask, oh, what have you built? A lot of things that, yes, I believe will strengthen after university, but they're there. Just start something. What do I like to do? Start. University is meant to push and fuel, your purpose. It's not meant to delay your purpose. For example, I founded Nessa Uplifts Foundation. For example, women in prison, incarcerated and formerly incarcerated women, to make sure that they have the support they need, be it vocational skills, proper reintegration. It could be a child battling addiction on the streets, the one battling mental health problem that has actually become a problem. So I have built this, and after university, the goal is that we have our own rehab center. The goal is that we have our own rehab center. So do you see how we're just in alignment? In university, we've started. There is structure. People want to see things because they can't trust what they don't know. You can't find, like, you can't just come up with something now, and say, yes, this is legit. People want, to make sure that you're credible. You need to put in years. So that idea you have, start. So university will only give your ideas fertile ground. We're waiting for the best seasons of our lives when we're already in it. We're already standing in one of the best seasons of our lives. So this obsession with after graduation is quietly killing students. It's killing our drive, it's killing, our focus, because everyone's like, after graduation, I'll start creating after graduation. I'll build my portfolio after graduation. But graduation doesn't magically produce confidence or initiative. So, what do you plan to do after graduation? There's a high chance that whatever you're doing in university right now, like however your life is, those are the same habits that will follow you. Do you understand? The person who volunteers to be class rep has learned leadership because they have groom that skill or talent or whatever. You just see it reflects in the way they live in society. The person who volunteered has learned something, a thing or two. So if you're just sitting in class, what do you plan to give society? Like, how do we trust that you're able to execute the things you say you will if you are not already doing it? So that after graduation, it only reveals the habits you've been learning for years. So there's nothing special about after graduation. Build now. And the more I observe successful people, the more I notice something. Very few of them built only one thing, right? While they were earning their degree, they were building trust, building their credibility. While they were studying, they were becoming known. While attending lectures, they were collecting evidence that they could create, evidence that they could communicate, evidence that they could lead, evidence that they could build. What evidence are you collecting? And when opportunities eventually appeared, they did not have to start convincing anyone of their credibility or their potential. They could simply point to a body of work, evidence. And evidence is always louder than promises. If you ask employers what they remember about exceptional graduates, they'll point to these non measurable things. You hear people say, oh, they're reliable, or I like her communication skills, or I like the way she thinks. They're easy to work with. She's a solution provider. These are things that eventually matter in the long run. So, dear Nigerian students, decenter your CGPA, build your credibility, gather evidence enough, evidence that beats promises. Build that body of work you can point to. Dear Nigerian students, the opportunity you think you have after graduation is sitting in your campus. Find it. You can't find it by sitting still. You can't find it by having perfect attendance and not volunteering. You can't find it in ignoring that event. What if that's where the opportunity you're looking for lies. Your environment quietly shapes your future long before you even notice it. If you surround yourself with people building things, you will eventually start building. If you surround yourself with people who, for instance, love complaining, you would be convinced that complaining is productivity. University gives you an environment. What you absorb is your decision. And I'm not saying grades don't matter. As a medical student, I know more than anyone that competence isn't optional. One day, people will trust me with their lives, and I owe them excellence. So respect your academics, ace your exams, but don't make the mistake of thinking that your transcript is the full record of your university experience. So maybe the question isn't what degree are you getting? Maybe the question is who are you becoming while you earn it? Who are you becoming while you earn your degree? If you can't answer that question, maybe you really need to sit down and think about it. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I becoming? Am I putting a pause on my passion because of I think university is all about the transcript? Because when people look back at university, they rarely remember the random Tuesday afternoon in one semester. They rarely remember the B you got in second year. University isn't a waiting room before life begins. And if you spend these years only collecting grades, you still live with a degree, but you'd have lost one of the most important thing that university offered to you. And that's the chance to build a life while everyone was waiting to start one. If this stage of your life gives you access to one of the most important things, ambitious peers, mentors, ideas, why would you leave with only one thing? Don't reduce university to a race for grades. Don't. Stop it. So before I go, dear Nigerian student, I know this system isn't easy. I know it can make you feel exhausted, discouraged, and sometimes even invisible. But don't let a broken system convince you that your mind doesn't matter. Choose to be a part of the intellectual system. Read more, think deeper, stay curious, because every society changes when enough people decide that understanding is more valuable than appearances. And maybe Nigeria we're all hoping for begins with students who refuse to stop thinking. I'll see you in the next video.